Do you really think that your average customer will be able to tell if we switch from a fresh product to a frozen? Do you really think that the average customer will be able to tell the difference between a ribeye blend versus a chuck blend? Do you really think they're going to complain? This is the topic of this conversation. And those are real questions from real business owners, restaurant owners, to myself as a consultant at one point or another. And I've had to navigate those waters. And for you listening in, do you think that your guests coming into your restaurant will really be able to know if that bread was fresh or frozen? The short answer to this, no. And before you go buying changing all your fresh products from fresh to frozen and getting everything canned and whatnot, let me explain to you the reason why I'm against it. No, your guests coming in, the average person is not going to be able to taste fresh from frozen. The average person may not be able to taste preservatives. Me personally, yes, I can taste preservatives. I have a trained palate. I've been able to taste different items and actually say to the bulk batch prep chef at whatever food service company who was selling it, what is that X, Y, and Z flavor that I taste, and they are shocked that I can pick up on the minute different flavors of uh, that is in the dish. So, but for your average person, they're not going to know. However, think of the last time that you went to a restaurant and you had an exceptional meal. I mean, you went in there, you sat down, the service was so so, it's okay, but you had the food and it knocked you off your seat. So good. What was your first response? What did you even say at the table? Dime to donut, you told somebody, oh, we got to come back here. Or we got to bring so and so here. They would love this place. I can't wait to Instagram this. I got to let somebody know. Now, reverse that with a place that you went into for business lunch or dinner and you had great association, great people there with you. The service again was so so above par. And the food was just meh. I'm not saying bad. It's just okay. Now, how often have you went back to that restaurant? How many times did you think about that restaurant after you left? Did you have a desire to go back? When we talk about fresh versus frozen and quality ingredients versus inferior ones, these are the dots on the I's and the T's being crossed that separate you from the rest of the pack. Correct. The average guest is not going to know that you switched from fresh to frozen. But what's not going to happen is they're not going to taste that bread on that sandwich or whatever. They're not going to taste that piece of fish that was frozen opposed to fresh and say, let me speak to a manager. This fish is frozen. No, it's probably not going to happen. Hardly ever. What they're going to do is, and what they're not going to do is, if it is frozen, say, oh my gosh, this fish is so awesome. I got to come back. You see, what you want to happen in your restaurant is the latter. You want that when they taste that food and they have that experience, that it hooks in their mind that this is different and I want to come back and experience this. And even though you'll save money temporarily and even make money as your cost goes down temporarily, long term, you're going to lose return guests because the guests that were returning, repeat customers, were coming back because you had something that they weren't getting from someplace else. and they saw the value, and there was a need, a drive, a mental fish hook, if you will, that brought them back to your establishment. When you remove that ingredients, those specialty dishes and items, and that planted that fish hook, the trick is that the person doesn't even know the fish hook is there. When you remove the hook out of the ingredients and they come have the meal, they get up from the meal and the hook is gone. The drive and desire to get back is not there. Think of McDonald's French fries and how they, if you remember McDonald's French fries 10 years ago, you could not say McDonald's French fries without everyone scammering. If you had to use a metaphor for something that would drive you crazy and make you want to get something fresh and hot 15, 20 years ago, if you used McDonald's French fries, everyone knew what you were talking about. Now, fast forward, the metaphor is still valid because there's enough people around that remember what McDonald's French fries used to be. But now you go to McDonald's, you're not going there for the French fries anymore. In fact, the French fries come out, you have them, they're just meh. There's you couldn't use that same metaphor with 25 and younger right now. It doesn't apply. Why? Because McDonald's removed the fish hook. The ingredients, the quality of the potatoes, the quality of the oil, the quality of the salt, they removed it down. And now what you have is something that used to drive people to that restaurant is now just like everything else. So when it comes to quality ingredients, there is a benefit to choosing which items you are going to use, essential and quality ingredients that are going to set you apart and accentuate flavors or the guest experience. Doesn't mean you got to use top dollar things for your whole menu. It just means that whatever these 3, 4, 5 items that are driving your guests back to your restaurant, you don't want to dilute those down to save a few cents.